Hey, what's up guys? Brandon Gentile here, Legacy Group Real Estate Team. We have your Friday Q&A, and today we have a good one. We have something that you don't see very often, but it does happen from time to time. And in markets like this, you do see it with people that think they have more money in their home than they do, things of that nature. You get problems like this. And what it is what happens if a buyer or seller does not show up for closing. So you get through the whole transaction, you get through everything, and one of the parties doesn't show up for closing. What happens? I've had this happen a number of times in my career. We've had this happen twice. We've actually seen it a bunch lately throughout just the brokerages just around here actually. And we've had a number of the brokers in the area asking what's going on. And it's something that wasn't seen for a while. It's been happening a fair amount just recently. So it's something I wanted to just kind of touch on because it's something that has been happening. We haven't had one. My team hasn't had one in over a year. But yeah, we had clients show up to closing. The other party didn't show up. We had it happen on the buy and the sell side. So basically what happens is you have a specific performance issue, which the party doesn't show up, could be sued for a specific performance. So say it's a buyer, the seller doesn't show up for close, and that buyer could then sue and hopefully get specific performance and make the seller act and sell them the home. If it's the other way around, you have obviously the deposit the buyer puts down could be in jeopardy and probably would be in jeopardy most likely. They could obviously go after more damages and legal matters as well. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't get into all the specifics, but long story short, that's generally what would happen. You would have probably some lawsuit or so going back and forth, most likely for specific performance. And in any case, it's really up to the party that is the victim or the one that was subject to that procedure happening to them. It's up to them. I mean, they could say, I don't care, that's fine, I want to move on anyway, I didn't like that house, or that's fine. So it's up to that person. They can decide to go after that person that didn't show up, or they can decide not to. So in the cases we had, we actually, both parties ended up not going after the other party because they figured, it's out of the goodness of their own heart and being the good people that they are and that we're fortunate enough to work with, they decided that it just wasn't worth the money, it wasn't worth the time, the risk, the hassle, everything, and they just wanted to move forward and go on and find something else, find a new house and find a new buyer for their home. Because we had them on both sides of the transaction. So, and oddly enough, one of those people that did not show up for closing that we dealt with, they're now a real estate agent. So figure that one out. So that is something, again, this isn't like some burning question. It's something that I've never talked about. It's something that, when people ask me, hey, should I get into real estate, things like that, it's things like this that happen that kind of come to mind and you look back on it and kind of chuckle, and I hope those people do now as well, our clients and the people that we are lucky enough to work with. But at the time, it was really some of the most stressful things in the world that are happening and going on. Can you imagine going to a closing and then the other party isn't there? You've got your money or you're waiting there as a seller waiting to get your money or whatever it is, and the other party doesn't show up and people are in mass chaos pretty much. So it's a big one, it's a tough one. Fortunately, it doesn't happen very often at all, but it is something that I thought maybe you get something out of and some type of learning experience from this, because again, it could happen. It's something that could happen. What do you do if it happens? What are your remedies? Obviously, you're going to want to talk to an attorney, get some legal representation, but those are some of the options you have. Like I said, it's going to be probably most likely a specific performance, going after that, making that person execute that contract that you signed, or you're walking away and just starting over. So again, we appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate your attention more than anything in the world, because as we know, your time, your attention, your energy is the most important thing that any of us have. So I appreciate you spending your time and your energy with me. And we'll see you guys again very soon.